Hi, this is Betsy Pruitt with bellyfeathers.com, and I'm pleased to present part 1 of my Frazzled to Fabulous How to Plan a Party to Remember series. Lots of people tell me that they feel discouraged when it comes to starting off planning a party, or on the day of they feel super stressed out. So I wanted to share with you my tips and tricks. I've got over 10 years planning parties on both the social and corporate scene, and I want to share what makes it easy and a joy to plan. So as we get started, something that we need to keep in our mind always as we plan this party is what's the number one thing people are going to remember. And that's how you make them feel. Do they feel welcome and comfortable at your party, or do they feel awkward and uncomfortable? This is a great quote from Coco Chanel. She says, "Luxury must be comfortable, otherwise it's not luxury." So you can spend $100,000 on your party, but if your guests feel awkward, it's all for waste. We've really got to make our guests feel welcome more than anything. So as we do that, we need to consider what they'd like to do. Are they active or are they couch potatoes? Personally, I'm a couch potato. So if you have a really active party like mountain biking or rock climbing, please don't invite me. I'm going to feel super awkward as I have to make up an excuse on why I can't come. Consider what your guests would like to eat and drink. Are they vegetarian, diabetic? Do they have allergies? If you know those things, plan some menu items around them so that they feel like you really considered what they'd like to do. A vegetarian is going to feel super awkward at your barbecue if there's nothing for them to eat until dessert when ice cream is served. So don't do that. Make them feel welcome. And at what time of day they'd like to come to a party. Are your guests morning people or night owls? If you're planning a baby shower and the mother-to-be is a night owl, please don't plan the shower at 8 a.m. in the morning. That's not going to make her feel very good. So do it in the afternoon or the night. Those are simple things that you can do to make your guests feel welcome. That leads into party planning. The first step is daydreaming, and this is personally my favorite thing to do. For daydreaming, I like to sit down for 30 minutes before I look at Google or Pinterest or anything like that. Just sit down with my own thoughts about what kind of party I'd like to plan. I try to think about the style of the party. Do I want something modern or elegant or vintage? And then I try to think about colors as well. Here are some other tips. And this is a typical scenario that I would go through. For this example, I'm going to be planning a circus party. And as I brainstorm, I want to think about engaging all 5 senses. To start off with, sight. As I enter a circus, I think of seeing lots of red and white stripes and polka dots. There's just so much activity, lots of busy things going on. So that's the kind of atmosphere I want to have at this event. I want to think about sounds too. At a circus, I think about the music like dun 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 dun. So I want to have music like that that's really festive, playing through the background all throughout the party. Smell. Fresh popcorn is something I associate with the circus, and so I want to have that awesome smell. So maybe I want to pop some popcorn in the microwave as people arrive, or even better, since I'm daydreaming and I'm just thinking about big picture, all the things I could do, maybe I want to rent one of those big popcorn machines. How cool would that be? And then the taste. Certainly I can taste that popcorn, but some of the other tastes of the circus might be circus peanuts or hot dogs, cotton candy. So those are the kinds of foods that I want to serve at this event. And then touch. Certainly you can touch all those food items, but maybe I want to morph in a carnival atmosphere as well with a midway, with ring tosses and things like that. And that really adds to the sights as well. So those are some of the 5 senses I might engage at this event. As I brainstorm, I want to keep in mind too that it really only takes 3 elements to pull off a theme. And whichever 3 that you choose, just do those really well and don't feel like you have to do any more than those 3. My typical favorites are the invitation. This is the pre-party intro to the theme. So for this example, in this margarita party, I'm doing a color palette of yellow, green, and orange in a bright modern style. And a pro tip for invitations, if you're throwing a party at a mealtime, definitely tell what kind of food you're going to serve, especially if it's not going to be a full meal. So if it's at 7 o'clock, make sure you note that if you're going to have heavy hors d'oeuvres, light hors d'oeuvres, or if you're going to serve a full-on Mexican buffet dinner like we did at this event. Then I like to do something special for the entryway. This is the intro to the actual event, so I want this to look bright and festive to coordinate with my invitation. So for this particular event, we did a little margarita glass on our front door. This just happened to be a whiteboard that I already owned, and I just put a paper lime on the rim of it, and it suddenly became a margarita. And that's another pro tip. I love to shop what I already have at my house and just take a look, walk around my house once I know my theme, and shop for the items that might coordinate with it. We also put a tropical hibiscus plant, and then as you open the door there was lots of decor as well to coordinate with the invitation. And then finally, I like to do a party favor. This is a nice little something that people can take home that coordinate with the theme. So for this party we did a house margarita recipe, so I sent guests home with the recipe as well as a lime and a little bag of salt. And this is a great quote from a party planner, Kimberly Kennedy. That says, "Detail is the difference between ordinary and extraordinary." And it definitely is. So I highly recommend that whichever 3 elements you choose, just do those really well. Anything that you want to do beyond these 3 elements is extraordinary. And I think you also get some bonus points for doing something unexpected. It's just a great way to delight your guests and do something that they'll remember. For this particular event, we served fried ice cream, which is a recipe that I have on my blog. Fried ice cream is something you typically associate with having at a Mexican restaurant and not at home, but it's super easy to make, so that was a great way to delight everyone. We also created a warming pit inside our dining room, on our dining room table. That's something unusual that you don't see inside a house, but it was a creative solution to a problem, the problem that I have with crock pots. I just particularly hate the look of those. So this was a great way to keep our Mexican buffet warm as guests arrived. And then finally, we served salsa out of terracotta pots filled with stainless steel bowls. Lots of people commented on what a creative touch it was, and it perfectly coordinated with our color scheme. And so as you can see, I like to do lots of things that are unexpected, and so for that, I gave myself a few bonus points. Bing! There's my crown. So that's part 1 of Frazzled to Fabulous, How to Plan a Party to Remember. Stay tuned for part 2 and 3 on my YouTube channel, and check me out at bellyfeathers.com.